The United Nations Global Empire Part 2, and my name is Brother George Glenn, and this is Love Crusade for Christ, and we're preaching a message today, or teaching a message today about the United Nations End Time Global Empire of the Antichrist and the false prophet. My friend, and over in Revelation chapter 13, we just in part 1 we read Revelation chapter 13 verses 1 through 4. So if you didn't get to read Revelation 13 verses 1 through 4, go ahead and read that, and then continue to watch this part 2, and you'll understand what we're talking about better, my friend. But in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1, John said that he saw a beast rise up out of the sea, and the beast that he saw had 7 heads and 10 horns, and a crown upon each of its horns. And the name of blasphemy was written upon each of the heads. We believe that the beast that John saw he was given a vision of the tribulation period. He was given a period of the 7-year tribulation. And during the 7-year tribulation, the United Nations will rule the world. And this is how we're going to explain to you today about the 7 heads and the 10 horns, or the 10 kings, my friend. The beast that John saw, and because it had the name of blasphemy upon all 7 heads, this is the 7 heads represent the 7 continents. So you have, number 1, you have North America, then you have South America, then you have Antarctica, then you have Europe, number 5, Africa, and then North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Africa. Number 6, Australia, and number 7 would be Asia. That's the Asian continent. And the reason John said this will be the Asia and Australia and all these others, I'll go over them one more time. North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Africa, Australia, and Asia. That's the 7 continents. And upon each of these heads or continents, John saw the name of blasphemy. And this represents that during the tribulation period, after the rapture, my friend, after Jesus comes and gets His church, then all of the Christians, all of the people who believe in Jesus will be taken up to heaven. He's coming for His people, to take His people to heaven, to be safe with Him during this 7-year tribulation period. And after this, the world is just going to get so evil and so wicked. The Bible says it will be like the days of Noah, that they only thought evil continually. This is the way it would be in the end of time, and my friend. And so, because the Holy Spirit will be taken back up to heaven with the church at the rapture. So the world is just going to go wild. The devil is just going to run wild over the 7 continents after the tribulation period, my friend. He's going to just run completely, totally wild and have his way there. And everybody, you think it's bad now, my friend, it's going to be literally hell on earth during the tribulation period. So the 7 heads of the beast represent the 7 continents, and the names of blasphemy represent that they're anti-God or anti-communist, my friend. These are communism. The government at the time will probably not be called communism, but it will be a totalitarian police state under the rule of the Antichrist and the false prophet. The Antichrist being a future Secretary General of the United Nations, and the false prophet being the leader of the world church, which will probably be a future pope of the Vatican that will lead the world church. The world church that will be left behind is a false church. That would be your Hindus and your Buddhists and your Muslims and your Wiccas and all of the false religions in the world will be left behind under the rule of this world church. And the 10 horns, my friend, or the 10 kings, represent. Time check, please. The 10 horns represent that each one of these continents will have a ruler. So the North American Union you'll have the president of the North American Union. That would be 1 horn and 1 crown, or 1 ruler. Then you'll have the president of the South American Union. That would be another crown or another horn, a ruler of that continent. Then down here you'll have the ruler of Antarctica. Antarctica is so rich in wealth and minerals and all the oil and things that are down around Antarctica. It's so important, and there's so many trillions of dollars worth of minerals there and oil and gas that there will be a ruler appointed just to be just over Antarctica, the continent down under. Then number 4, you have the European Union. The president of the European Union will be he will wear a crown, and he'll be the king of that European Union. And number 5 will be the African Union. Number 6 will be Australia down here. Australia will have a ruler over it. Number 7 would be up here in Asia. It's going to have a ruler over China. That would be the 7th king, and then the 8th king would be the ruler over Russia. The 9th king would be the ruler down here over the Indonesian islands, and the 10th king, or the 10th ruler, my friend, will be the Middle East, my friend. That will probably be under the leadership of the United Arab Emirates, my friend, when all of the Middle East consolidates together. And that's what the Arab Spring of back of a few years ago, my friend, 4 or 5 years ago, that was the Arab Spring was organized and orchestrated by the United Nations, my friend. And the purpose of the Arab Spring was to bring all of the Middle Eastern countries together under one Islamic state, and so that they could all of the Middle Eastern countries could all come together as the Middle Eastern Union, my friend. And that's what the Arab Spring was all about. And so you see that the Middle East, my friend, is the last union that needs to come together. All of these other unions, my friend, are already there. They're already operating, my friend. We might not go under the name of the North American Union, my friend, but let me guarantee you that we are, for all intents and purposes, America, Canada, and Mexico, we are a union. We formed a political union already, my friend, an economic union already.